What's up guys, Davies here and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today is the first video of FIFA 19, and as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be reacting to Coventry City's FIFA 19 ratings and seeing what they're like after a successful year last season, getting promoted. It'll be interesting to see whether any players have got huge upgrades and whether they even decided to downgrade some players. So we're going to kick things off with Burge, our starting goalkeeper. Played 48 games last season, and this includes FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Czech Trade Trophy, and a few pre-season friendlies. So he played 48 games overall, and was a consistent starter for the team last year. Liam running in much of a look in. He was very, very good last season. Made a few good saves, especially in the playoff semi-final against Notts County. Made a save off Jonson, which arguably won us a tie. So yeah, 59 rated last season. You'd be expecting to see an upgrade, and he just got an upgrade, but only by one. A little bit disappointed by it's only a one. Did have a 77 rated team of the season card last year, so I was hoping for a little bit higher for Lee. But if you're looking at the individual stats, his handling goes up by 3, kicking up by 5. His reflexes go up by 1, and his positioning goes up by 5. So for individual stats, they've seen quite a nice upgrade actually. The individual ones, just his overall hasn't been upgraded that much at all. Going into a man I just briefly talked about, Liam O'Brien, our second choice goalkeeper. Started off as first choice goalkeeper this season, but lost his place quickly again to Burge. Played 10 times and then came off a bench once as well, which is interesting last season. A goalkeeper who gets a lot of stick from the Coventry fans. Well, not stick, just some people don't think he's good enough. But I think he's quite good. From when I've gone and seen him, he's played really well. The game which sticks out to me was Crewe last season. He'd made a few good saves, which basically won us a game, to be fair. So yeah, I think he doesn't deserve a downgrade, but maybe not an upgrade either. That's exactly what he's got. You're looking at his individual stats. His overall stays the same. His individual stats, though, also stay the same, apart from his speed, which increases by a huge 6. Going into the first defender of the video, Hyam. Very good centre-back. Actually starting centre-back in League 1 this season for us alongside Willis. Only played 22 times last season, with 3 of those coming off the bench. But made a good extended run towards the end of the season, where we played in that, where we went unbeaten for about 7 games. So yeah, very, very good player, and definitely going to play more this season, seeing as we've got less centre-backs than what we had last season. Because last year we had 4 choice centre-backs who all could play. So Dom sometimes missed out on even making a matchday squad, let alone starting 11. But definitely deserves an increase in rating, and that's what he's got. A huge 4 increase. His pace has gone up by 1, passing by 7, which is a huge upgrade there. Dribbling by 3, defending by 6, and his physical has also gone up by 1. So nice upgrade for Dom there, and he deserves it. Maybe even deserves a little bit higher. Moving on to a guy who played a lot of games last season for us. Actually, he didn't, which is surprising to me. But he did play. He has played a very crucial role. Tom Davies, probably in my eyes, before we came into this season, our second choice centre back behind Jordan Willis. But after seeing him the other night against Arsenal, maybe not. Maybe he's down in the 3rd, 4th choice. Jordan Thompson was very good the other day. But that's a little bit off topic. So he played 25 games last season for us. Okay card, to be fair. 67 pace and 71 physical. Defending a little bit low. But going into FIFA 19, they have upgraded him by 2. His pace has decreased by 1. Shooting, passing, dribbling stays the same. Defending has gone up by 3, and his dribbling has gone up by 2. So it's an okay upgrade, not too great, but it's what it is really. Looking at Jack Grimmer. One of the pivotal parts to our season last season, had an absolutely tremendous season. Dion Kelly-Evans couldn't get anywhere. Dion. I was getting mixed up between Dion and Devon. Couldn't get anywhere near the starting 11. He played 53 games last season, the second highest most of appearances from the team, and he had about a month out in February as well. So when he was fit, he played every game near enough. Okay card last year, to be fair. 66 rated for a League Two right back. Can't complain. Had a monster career. Had a monster season. Played really, really well. Played a lot of games. So what did EA do? Boom. Two downgrade. Two downgrade. Are you kidding me? EA are having a giraffe. They do no research. I'm sure of it, man. This bloke played his heart out last year and gets hit with a 2 downgrade. Oh my days. His pace stays the same, his shooting stays the same, but should have got an increase after the 2 goals he scored last season. Scored 3 last season, but the ones against Stoke and the one at Wembley against Exeter stand out in my mind. Passing goes down by 2, dribbling stays the same, defending goes down by 3, and physical goes up by 1. Just got to congratulate EA on that one. That is a really, really good bit of research and definitely worthy of the downgrade. Right, rant over. Jordan Willis, starting centre back, our best centre back by a mile. Been with the club for his whole life basically, and had a really good card last season. 77 pace, 72 physical, 64 defending. Played 42 games for us, none off the bench. So when he was fit, he did start as well. Scored 2 goals, one against Stoke. I couldn't tell you where the other one came from. I can't actually think of that. Red card was named against Mansfield in a game which we did draw. So he is also took a downgrade, which is interesting because we did get promoted. So every player that gets a downgrade, I'm going to be interested in because we got promoted and we got upper league, and we're getting downgraded in rating. So that's interesting for sure. But his card's roughly the same pace, same shooting, 4 decrease in passing, 1 good decrease in dribbling, defending, and physical. So I mean, it's still a good card, still one which you might use in the Ultimate Team, and you definitely will be using them if you are using the Coventry City team going into the Ultimate Team this year. As for Junior Brown, a player who joined in the summer, played for Shrewsbury last year, played the majority of the start of their campaign before picking up an injury which kept him up for the rest of the season. Shrewsbury fans held him quite highly actually. Were disappointed to see him go, and maybe 6 rating wasn't representative of him, which is also what EA thought, as they have increased him to a 65 rating for this season, 78 pace, same shooting, 2 increase in passing, 1 in dribbling, 2 in defending, and 1 in physical. So it's an okay upgrade for Junior Brown, and he's a player that you could use in a Coventry team, but we will talk about the player which you probably use ahead of him later on in the video. As for another player going into the midfielders now, another player who did join from Shrewsbury in the summer, Ogogo. Has not really played much this season so far. I think it's been injury after the first 2-3 games. Of like a muscle maybe potentially, because he missed out on a matchday squad, and then he's been on the bench ever since. Bayliss has kept him out. Bayliss playing in central midfield in his preferred role for the last few weeks. But he played 42 games last season for Shrewsbury, played the majority of their games. He actually picked up 8 yellows and 2 reds, which is interesting. But a card which you could use on Ultimate Team for sure if you were using a silver team. Good pace, good physical, and then okay all-round stats for defensive midfielder as a silver. So then going into FIFA 19, he's took a little bit of an upgrade, which is, I guess, it deserved. 2 passing increase and 1 dribbling, 2 defending, and also 1 physical. So still a player which you could use in silver teams. Has gone from a rare to a non-rare though. Going on to the rock of our midfield and probably the most pivotal player to our team, Michael Doyle. The guy's a beast. He's well into his 30s now, but still played 52 games last season. And you really can't fault the bloke at all in any way, shape, or form. You just can't. He scored 3 goals, 14 yellow cards, but he's just like glue for the team. And EA have downgraded him to a 64 rating from last season, which I guess is okay. I mean, EA always downgrade players once they hit a certain age, and he's right up in the higher ends of the 30s. So it was always expected to see him get downgraded. He's took a 4 hit on his pace. Same shooting, passing, dribbling, 1 decrease in defending, and also the same physical. So it's definitely not a card which you're going to be using. to be honest, in either career mode or you might use it in career mode, but definitely not in Ultimate Team, for sure. Moving on to the next midfielder, we have got Jodi Jones, a player who started last season insane and really well. Definitely brought the hearts of Cov fans again. He was definitely part of a reason why there's a lot more faith in the team going into the second half of the season for sure. But he did pick up a serious injury last season, which has kept him out ever since. Picked it up in about October against, I think it was against Lincoln away from home. I think. Yeah, I think so. But he's been out since, scored 5 goals in 22 games. But yeah, let's see whether EA have upgraded him or not. And yes, they have. They've upgraded him to a silver player. He's took a 1 increase on his pace, shooting, passing, 4 on his dribbling, and 3 on his defending, and 1 on his physical. So it's an all-round increase, to be fair, and you can't really complain on that. So that's okay. In all honesty, it's not an awful card at all going into the Ultimate Team. Definitely one which you could be using. On to Tony Andreu, also in the same boat as Jodi Jones, picked up a serious injury at the start of last season, hence we only made 6 minutes, 3 off the bench, 3 starting. An all-round card last year, to be fair, 65s and 66s, basically around everything apart from his defending. So it's a player which you could use. It was just an all-round silver card. Nothing too special, but also nothing which really stood out as, wow, you can't really do that. He's just a player that you could potentially have in the team. And going into 19, he has took a 1 downgrade on his overall. Pace has been hit by 3. Shooting, passing, dribbling, all stay the same. His defending has gone down by 2 and his physical by 2. It's an understandable downgrade, I guess. Hasn't really done anything to warrant an upgrade. Hasn't really done anything to warrant a downgrade, but they have anyway. He's coming back from a long injury, so it's understandable, I guess. Going into the strikers, we do have Jonson Clarke-Harris, a player who was in the Cov Youth Academy, left, and then came back in January on loan from Rotherham, and it was made a permanent deal in the summer by Mark Robbins and the team. They made 13 starts and 8 off the bench last season, coming in with 3 goals. Definitely a player who has a lot of potential still very young, and going to be a pivotal role to this season, especially with Max Biamou's injury. Him and Bakayoko definitely going to have a very big role in how well we do this season, alongside Connor Chaplin up front. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I think that's if you're looking at his card from last season, it's definitely a good card. 80 pace, 71 physical, 64 shooting. Definitely a player who wanted an upgrade after last season, and he has took an upgrade from last season. He is now a silver player, and his pace has gone down by 2, unfortunately. But to be fair, I don't think he's that quick of a player anyway. But his physical's gone up by 2 as well, shooting by 1, passing stayed the same, dribbling has gone down by 1, which is interesting. His defending's gone up by 4, so that's a decent upgrade. And then going on to the player who is definitely brought the hearts of Coventry fans last season for sure, and especially very disappointed that he has torn his ACL at the start of this season. Max Biamou played 49 games overall, whether that be starting from off a bench, scored 9 goals, didn't have a great start to last season after joining from Sutton, but definitely found his seat in the second half, whether he started scoring bangers, whether that be 30-yard volleys or bicycle kicks in playoff semi-finals. You can't fault the bloke. He's an all-round nice guy. He just puts in the effort on the pitch, and he's definitely a player which deserves an upgrade. And EA have warranted him with a big 6 upgrade. It's not an upgrade all around this card. 4 pace, 3 shooting, 5 passing, 8 dribbling, 3 defending, and 7 physical. So it's a nice upgrade for Max. And we're just going to finish off our squad here with everybody else who haven't gone in depth to. But if you're looking at the top left corner, you're looking at Jordan Shipley and Tom Bayliss, both players who broke into the first team last year, did not have FIFA cards before. And it's just players who Yeah, you're just screwed basically. I don't understand how a 59 and 61 respectively. Pardon me. It's a disgrace. Like Tom Bayliss was scouted by at least 4 Premier League clubs in the summer, and they're still giving him a 61 rating. It is a disgrace, and I do not understand it. As for Jordan Shipley, he should not be 59 rated at all. Like it's just mind blowing to me if you're looking at those two cards. Like if you're looking at Bayliss's, Bayliss's card is worse than Shipley's, and Shipley is 2 ratings lower. But Bayliss is so much better. It doesn't make any sense. And that is my rant over. You're looking at Bakayoko, 63 rated. Ponticelli gone at 1 from 56. I think he'll be in Macclesfield on the game, even though he has just broke his foot. Dexter Walters with his first FIFA card, 53 rated. Dane Westbrook joining from Brentford in the summer, 57 rated. Alassani with his first FIFA card at 57 rated as well. Jordi Hawula, 64 rated, same as last season, I believe. Well, maybe 63, not too sure. Brandon Mason, first FIFA card, 65. Definitely a player you want to be using if you are using a Coventry City Ultimate Team. Better than Junior Brown in basically every stat. Dujon Sterling, 62 rated, his first FIFA card as well. Koryadai is 51 rated, 3 decrease from last season. Jordan Thompson with his first FIFA card as well, 56 rated. Very good player, actually. I think he played very, very well against us another weekend. Not the weekend on Wednesday. Good player, and definitely one to watch out for in the future. And the final one is Chris Camwell, who is 54 rated, increased from 53 last season. And a player which you may have seen me, I got a little bit distracted a second ago, but when I mentioned Connor Chaplin's name, because I just forgot, because he hasn't been updated to a commentary player on the databases yet. So I've just gone and looked at his card. He's 65 rated, which means he's going to be our best striker alongside Clarke-Harris, whether you're using him in career mode or in Ultimate Team. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you did like the video, please hit a big thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. If you would, subscribe button will be on the screen in a second. So if you could subscribe as well, that'd be awesome. Turn that bell on to get notifications for when a video of mine goes live. If you could share it on social media as well, I'd be much appreciated. Any exposure is good exposure. And